This is Sunraysia Daily News with Sarah Harmon.
The Sunraysia Football and Netball League faced a financial backlash unless it blocked an application by former AFL star Nick Stevens to play at Redcliffe this season. Stevens claims intimidating tactics were used by people in powerful positions towards sponsors of both the league and Redcliffe's Football and Netball Club, and used against him in his failed bid this week to overturn the SFNL decision. The former Carlton and Port Adelaide player is now expected to take this week's AFL Victoria Area Appeals Committee decision to the Supreme Court. The question mark hanging over the Murray Basin Rail project has finally been removed, with the federal government today committing $220 million to complete the project. Sunraysia Producers and Transport Heavyweights welcomed the news, which will see 5 freight rail lines across northwest Victoria upgraded to get produce to market more efficiently. The state government committed $220 million to the $416 million project last year. Firefighters responded to a blaze at a Mildura recycling centre this morning. After the fire was contained, crews worked through the morning to remove and cool items stored at the Armand Avenue building. The fire is not being treated as suspicious. A man and woman who sustained severe burns in a Mildura backyard explosion on Wednesday night both remain in a critical condition in a Melbourne hospital. The pair was flown to Melbourne late Wednesday after being badly burnt when a can of fuel ignited at a Walnut Avenue home. Students at Golgol and Wentworth Public Schools honoured Australia's fallen soldiers and learned of the sacrifices they made for our country this week when they each held their own Anzac Day service. The student-led ceremonies included readings about life in the trenches and traditional poems before wreaths were laid beneath the Australian flag. With Anzac Day falling during the New South Wales school holidays, services were held over the past 2 days to encourage students to attend community services on April 25th. More than 80 people requiring life-saving dialysis will receive treatment in Mildura over the next 2 weeks. The Big Red Kidney Bus arrived on Monday and will give patients and their carers from across Australia time away from home and hospital. To sport, Sunraysia's best horse Mirandy Track will carry local hopes in tomorrow night's Mildura Pacing Cup final at City Oval. Driven by Ararat's Emma Hamblin and trained by Colin Rogers, Mirandy Track won through to Saturday night's final after running second in his heat on Tuesday. Mildura Heat have a triple header tomorrow night at the Hot House against visitors Chelsea. Grant Brown's youth team open the night at 4 p.m. with Lady Heat in action from 6 p.m. before the men finish the night from 8 p.m. Lady Heat are looking to keep their undefeated start to the season going after 2 from 2 last weekend, with import Ali Gloyd starring in the side's win over Latrobe City and Craigieburn. To the weather, Mildura can expect a partly cloudy day tomorrow with a high of 24 degrees and a low of 9. Tune in next week for a look at the upcoming SFNL season with Bill Saw. For these stories and more, pick up tomorrow's issue of Sunraysia Daily. I'm Sarah Harmon. Join me next week for the latest news from across the region.